Hello MotoGP fans. Welcome back to ZNGP Today, fresh from the Sepang Shakedown and now heading into the official preseason tests. Toprak Razgatlioglu, the first Turkish rider in MotoGP, spoke about the jump from WorldSBK to the Premier class. He's excited, measured, and clear about his goals. 2026 is for learning, 2027 is where he hopes the real fight begins. Here's our extended post-test breakdown. Yamaha has officially turned its Plan B into Plan A. The new M1 V4 is the centerpiece of a high-stakes 2026 project. Paolo Pavesio spoke to GPOne in Sepang about why the change happened, what the team expects, and how riders, from veterans to rookies, will be used to build the package. We explain what Yamaha is trying to do and why it matters. The MotoGP rider market is already moving, and one name is dominating the conversation. Fabio Quartararo to Honda in 2027. Not confirmed, not denied either. Today, we break down the rumor, the response from his manager, and why this story refuses to go away. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Toprak arrived in MotoGP with a stellar superbike resume and the kind of expectation that brings both spotlight and pressure. Yet his opening tone is humble. This is a dream fulfilled, not a finished story. He stressed that being a Turkish rider in MotoGP carries extra meaning. It's personal, historical, and a responsibility he's eager to shoulder. When I was a child, I didn't dream of racing in MotoGP because, for me, MotoGP was a long way off. Walking into a factory garage for the first time can be overwhelming, but Toprak repeatedly emphasized how welcomed he felt. The team environment, he said, helped calm pre-test nerves and gave him a positive platform from which to begin the steep learning curve. That human side, the crew, the warmth, the shared professionalism, is already proving to be an important pillar for his adaptation. When I signed with Yamaha, I was very happy because, as I become more professional, I understand this world better, and I'm also realizing my dream of racing in MotoGP. Technically, the transition is significant. Toprak compared the MotoGP V4 to the superbikes he dominated, and the difference is obvious. More outright speed on the straights and a markedly different chassis and tire package. He praised the V4's acceleration and corner speed but was candid that the MotoGP package demands a fresh approach, especially to tires and chassis feedback. After the superbike, especially the V4, I feel very fast on the straights and especially in the corners. Rather than promising instant results, Toprak has set realistic milestones. He's framed 2026 as a training year, a season to collect laps, learn circuits he hasn't raced before, and find the limits of MotoGP tires. That patient, long-term outlook is a classic rookie strategy. Prioritize consistent growth over headline-grabbing early pushes that can backfire. I'm considering the first year as a training year. Toprak's immediate agenda is the official Sepang tests and the subsequent Malaysian sessions where he'll log the most miles on the M1 V4. He's focused on setup, finding a base, and accelerating his adaptation to braking and tire life. Importantly, he repeatedly underlined that he'll take feedback from the engineers and rely on steady improvements rather than quick fixes. I need more time. I need more laps to understand it. While 2026 is learning, Toprak is already thinking about the big picture, the 2027 regulation changes and the introduction of Pirelli tires. He's hopeful that with a full year of experience and development behind him, he and Yamaha can be more competitive under the new rules. For now, though, the focus remains lap-by-lap progress and absorbing everything the MotoGP world can teach him. In my opinion, in 2027 we'll come back stronger with the new regulations and the Pirelli tires. Toprak's message is refreshingly steady, humility plus ambition. He's not promising miracles in 2026. He's promising to learn fast, work hard, and return stronger. That's exactly the kind of rookie roadmap that, if followed carefully, can turn a promising debut into a long-lasting winner. Yamaha didn't flip to a V4 overnight. It was a deliberate pivot. Pavesio admits the V4 started as a contingency, but testing and internal analysis pushed it forward. Making a Plan B, the new blueprint, is a big organizational move. It means fresh R&D priorities, new aero and exhaust packaging to manage, and a different map for rider feedback. For a manufacturer that had squeezed the inline-4 to its limits, this is effectively a technical reset, risky, but necessary to chase a performance step change. Plan B became Plan A, and this season will be very important. The blunt technical truth: the inline-4 had plateaued. Pavesio frames the switch not as a failure but as the next logical step. The previous engine was fully developed and gave everything it could. The V4 offers different torque delivery, packaging and aero opportunities, twin exhausts, different center of gravity, so it's not a like-for-like update, it's a fresh canvas. That reset can take time to exploit, but it's the only credible route if Yamaha wants to stop chasing and start leading again. The M1 with the inline-4 engine had reached the end of its development. The test program is explicitly methodical. Sepang isn't about headline lap times, it's about assembling a complete picture. Bringing Toprak in early was strategic. As a rider with no MotoGP baggage, his feedback is unusually clean, letting engineers interpret sensations without historical bias. That neutral input can be invaluable when you're rethinking chassis, torque curves and aero balance from scratch. Expect Yamaha to run many permutations before committing to a race baseline. The first day of shakedown allowed Toprak to familiarize himself with the track. Yamaha's organizational signal is loud. They're not building a one-off show bike for a single rider. Pavesio stresses parity. 8 bikes on test so 4 riders can get the same parts and data. That's crucial for development speed. If factory and satellite riders have identical equipment, feedback multiplies and validation accelerates. It's a resource-heavy approach, but the fastest way to converge on a robust race package rather than a single rider's toy. We have 8 bikes and we want to give all 4 riders the same equipment. Bottom line, Yamaha's V4 move is a technical gamble with clear strategy behind it. A reset from the inline-4, structured testing, and neutral rookie input, and a push for equal equipment across the squad. Short term, expect careful data collection, many aero and mapping swaps at Sepang, and measured statements rather than sprint headlines. Medium term, if Yamaha turns this methodical work into consistent race pace, the V4 will have justified itself. If not, the team will still have valuable R&D for the bigger 2027 rule reset. Keep an eye on how the 4 riders' feedback converges over the next official tests. That'll tell you whether Plan A was the right call. The story began quietly, but it didn't stay that way for long. Reports linking Fabio Quartararo to Honda for the 2027 season spread rapidly through the paddock, social media, and team motorhomes. According to Motorsport, HRC sees the Frenchman as a central piece of its medium-term rebuild, not an emergency fix, but a calculated future move. What makes this rumor explosive isn't just Quartararo's status as a former world champion, but the timing. Contracts may run until 2026, yet factories are already shaping their next era. In modern MotoGP, long-term planning is no longer optional, it's survival. This isn't an immediate move, but a strategic operation planned for the future. Big rumors don't usually gain this much momentum without fuel. In this case, it was the consistency of the information. Multiple sources repeated the same narrative, talks existed, interest was real, and Honda was serious. That alone raised eyebrows. Rider market speculation is constant, but when the same story appears across outlets without contradiction, the paddock starts listening. Silence from Honda only added to the intrigue, a familiar tactic when negotiations are sensitive and timelines stretch years ahead. It's unusual for a rumor of this magnitude to gain traction without some kind of indirect confirmation. The turning point came when Tom Maubent, Quartararo's manager, addressed the issue publicly on Canal+. His words were calm, controlled, and revealing. He didn't shut the door. He didn't laugh it off. Instead, he acknowledged negotiations and confirmed Honda's presence at the table, while stopping short of announcing any deal. In MotoGP language, that's significant. Managers rarely admit talks unless there's genuine interest on both sides. The only thing I can confirm is that there are several negotiations underway, and Honda is part of one of them. Here's where nuance matters. Malbant denied a signed agreement, but not the discussions themselves. And in the paddock, that distinction is everything. This wasn't a rumor killer, it was a clarification. The message was simple: nothing is done, but something is happening. For many insiders, that actually strengthens the story. MotoGP deals rarely appear overnight. They evolve quietly, step by step, until the final signature makes headlines. As of today, nothing has been signed. Honda, for now, remains silent. No confirmation, no denial, no pushback. That discretion is typical of HRC, especially when planning future lineups. What's clear is the scale of the ambition. Linking Quartararo to Honda isn't casual speculation, it reflects a manufacturer looking for a cornerstone rider to lead its next project cycle. And while 2027 feels distant, decisions shaping that season are already being made behind closed doors. Honda has not officially commented on this potential deal. So where does that leave us? Fabio Quartararo is listening. Honda is talking. Nothing is signed, but nothing is closed. And as the 2026 season hasn't even begun, the 2027 market is already sending its first shockwaves. In MotoGP, that's usually how the biggest moves start. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!